Welcome to the Greg's Review Show. Today we're going to talk about a very, very important topic. How these young ladies discover that their boyfriends or husbands were gay. Like and share this video. Please help them support our channel through Cash App GRC $mantrap. Thumbs up, like and share this video. Hit that subscribe button right there below. Without further ado, let's get quickly into this video, and I'll be right back.
Pornography, but it was all men. There were no women in sight, and I was like, okay, this could be something. Most straight men don't look at gay pornography. There's some that do, but I was like, my husband's probably gay. I approached Steve at this point, and I'm like, hey, are you gay? I found out this pornography, and he just felt horrible. He's like, I'm so sorry, all these things, and I'm like, it's okay, but are you gay? And he's like, no, I'm not gay. And he now tells me, he's like, that was the first time I ever let myself think the words, I am gay.
A few years ago, I found out that my husband was gay and cheating on me with men, and that he was using a lot of drugs, and I'm still with him. We're together for like 5 years since then. I don't want to tell anybody. I don't want anyone to know.
I found out that my boyfriend of almost 2 years is gay, or perhaps bisexual. Story time! I've been dating this guy for 1 year and 7 months, and to be very honest, I never saw any traces or any signs. My boyfriend has a flatmate, although he is the owner of the house. So he told me that he invited his friend to come and start staying over with him because he's always bored whenever I am not around. Of course, I didn't have any problem with it. I even started being close to his flatmate. I even have his contact, and whenever my man is not acting right, I will text this guy to help me talk to my boyfriend, and he always helps. Everything was okay until some days back. I had been in the house for about a week now, and this day I decided to cook. Whenever I go to the market, my boyfriend is always following me, but this particular day, he said he wanted to stay back. He said he was tired and I should get a cab. Of course I obeyed because why not? And he said when I get back, I should call him to come and open the gate for me because the gate is very heavy and it would be hard for me to push. So I went to the market, bought everything I need, and I came back home, but the gate was locked. I felt there was no need for me to disturb him since this guy told me that he was tired before I left the house. So I decided to push the gate myself. Meanwhile, it is a very big house with no neighbors. Everywhere was very quiet. I decided to drop the things that I bought in the kitchen and go upstairs to look for him and tell him that I am back. That was where I got the shock of my life. I got to the door and I heard moans. At first I thought it was a woman until I realized that it was him and his friend that were fucking. I decided to stay a few minutes to check if I was overthinking or if I was hallucinating, only to find out that I was actually seeing right. When I realized that I was actually seeing right, I ran downstairs, packed the things that I got from the kitchen, went back to the gate, locked it, and I called him that I was at the gate so he could come and open it, acting like I did not see anything or I had not been in the house. He took about 10 minutes before he came outside to open the gate for me. I pretended like nothing happened. Mind you, when I went upstairs, I did not open the door for them to see me or anything. I mean, I knew that if they saw me, things might go bad. What if they killed me to silence me? I prepared the food and I told him that I wanted to go home. Then he asked me why. I told him I have some urgent school issues to attend to, so I left. And you guys, our flat rate ad is coming. So if you are a vendor and you want to promote your brand or you want me to influence it, click the link in my bio right now or send me a DM on Instagram or here. It's been a week. I have not gone back. We are still talking. I am scared to tell anyone because I'm scared for my life. So I don't know if I should confront him or let it go. What should I do? This is a situation I have never imagined myself to be in. So I'm going to leave you guys in the comment section to give out your advice. So drop your stories for me. Go on my Instagram at JustPearlNA, the same name I use here.
So this is an update on my marriage and married in Atlanta. So far, we are moving forward from finding out that he is HIV positive as well as homosexual as well as... How do you literally walk around with HIV, syphilis, and herpes knowingly and still be out here sleeping with other people unprotected, even protected? Really?
4 years ago, I ran for prosecutor to keep our kids and our families safe, and we're making progress. Violent crime is down, and we're working.
Oh my God. This is ridiculous, y'all. So I went on my husband's HAF portal, which is AIDS Health Foundation. I got his last test results. Mind you, being married to this man, I should have gotten some of these results myself, let alone, they should have called me and said, hey, we might need you to come down here to get tested because he came back positive for this shit. But yet, no. On his paperwork, it says single. So because of that, they don't have to notify anybody. I am so pissed right now. Mind you, we go to the same doctor. We have the same last name. We go to the doctor all the time together. So for them to write him up as single, it just pisses me off. It just lets me know, one, he's the one who put it single. I refuse to be a victim. You're not going to walk around here with HIV, herpes, and syphilis and be giving it to people, let alone me. I am so pissed right now. He better be glad I can't talk to him, contact him, or nothing at this moment, because it doesn't make any sense for somebody to really want to hurt somebody, but yet you love me. I ain't even checked your status. Thank God you're considered undetectable right now. One less thing to worry about. I'm over it, guys. I am so over the bullshit. Come on. Care about yourself, man. And I'm looking at the medications and I'm like, he's got oral thrush right now. This opportunistic diseases and crazy shit. Which means you're going into the stage of AIDS. AIDS, man. You don't care. Don't care. Don't care about me. Care about the family we've built. The children who love you. You just don't care. Now, life is precious. It's important. We only got one. So why not care about yourself? Care about your health. Really? I am so pissed right now, guys. It doesn't make any kind of sense. I want to cry because it's like, I'm the only one who cares. Only one. And you have a nerve to come to me saying you want your family back and how much you love me and this, that, and a third. But I don't have anything right now. So for me to believe you've been faithful, it's like, son of a man. Doing the right thing ain't hard, guys. It don't cost you a thing. Nothing. Just do the right thing. Be fucking normal. I'm so upset right now because it doesn't make any sense for somebody to literally go around and hurt other people and think that shit's okay. I'm done ranting for today. At least to you all. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Today is October the 5th. Disclose his status. It's not a crime. So in the LGBT community, for some reason, they hide this stuff, guys. Like, there's apps on here now. One app is called Hope and everything else. I mean, y'all check y'all man's phone. Y'all think this is like crazy, but I'm telling y'all, like, you'd be surprised how many men are out here actually sleeping with men. Y'all think it's, well, not all men are bisexual or gay. And that is true. Not all men are. But a lot of them are. A lot of them are, quote unquote, in the closet or bisexual. And they're just not willing to admit it to you. One, because you're going to think they're nasty or they're this and they're that when they do the same thing that y'all do.
Election season is here. Remember, who you vote for is secret, but whether you vote is public information. After this election, your voting record will be updated, and your friends and family will be able to look up how often you vote. So vote on or by Tuesday, November 5th.
AARP is here to help. Going out? Save with discounts at restaurants and hotels. Staying in? Check out AARP.
All right, so y'all want to know? Well, even if you don't, I'm going to tell it because it'll make me feel better. So this will probably be in a few parts, I'm sure. But so this will be part one of how I found out that my ex-husband is, well, gay at the time, but now he's trans. So it's definitely been a wild ride, but let's get into it. So I was 22 at the time. We had just had our first child, and that's the only child that we have together. We were together since I was like 18. So it was like 4 or 5 year relationship total. So we were on the couch watching a TV show, and he had just gotten up to go to the computer to check his Facebook. And I thought, rude. Well, I noticed he had a message, but he like wasn't clicking on it. And I'm like, well, who's the message from? Typically you go on Facebook, check your notifications, things like that. And so he checks it and he tells me it's so-and-so. I don't want to say any names on here, but it was a boy that I had actually dated in high school for a very short period of time that had recently came out on Facebook that he was gay. And I was like, weird. Like they were acquaintances because we're like from a small town, but they weren't like friends. So I thought that was kind of weird. So I then tried to like log into his Facebook on my phone, and I seen the password had changed. Couldn't get in. I was like, what the fuck? So I kind of was like upset. So I went to go take a shower. He could obviously sense that I was upset. He came and tried to get in, and I was like, get out. And he's all like, no, I want to come in. And I was like, I'm not sharing the water. So then I was like, okay, let me figure this out. Let me hurry up, get out here and soap, and then I can go to the computer because it would like auto log in. So that's what I did. He was still in the shower. I went out there and it auto logs in. I click on the message, and literally my heart just like sank. And I will read it to you. It literally said, the message he wrote to him. So my ex-husband wrote it to him and was like, hey, as you know, I'm married to Marina, and I just recently realized I am gay. How did your family respond to you when you came out? And I was just like, I couldn't breathe. Like, oh, I can't even tell you. All I remember was my baby was like 2 months old, 3 months old, laying right next to the computer in their little sleeper. I just kept like panning back and forth, like, oh my God, the computer, my baby, what do I do? And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Let me get dressed, and I'm going to leave the baby here because he didn't even work at the time. I was the one that would work. So go to part two.
And this is the time that I found out my boyfriend was gay. About a few years ago, I was at an event for work on a boat and having a great time. And my boyfriend at the time was asking me to come, out with him and his cousin because his cousin just graduated from college. So he picked me up from the event. We head to the club, and as we're at the club, I see someone that I know. And as I see someone that I know, they give me a hug, and it's a guy. And I'm like, hey, how are you? In the midst of me trying to introduce my boyfriend to him, my boyfriend already walked away. When I go and find him, I'm like, hey, I was trying to introduce you. He whispered in my ear, don't you ever embarrass me like that again. So we kind of got in an argument, and we just decided to leave. As he was tired and sleeping in the passenger seat, his phone goes off. And his phone goes off from a text message at 1 a.m. But out of respect, I told him, your phone's going off at 1 a.m. You should probably answer that. And he's like, babe, I have nothing to hide. Here's my passcode. Then I go in his phone with that password, and I'm looking in the text messages. I scroll all the way up, and I scroll up and I see a selfie. And I'm like, it's a black dude taking a selfie and send it to him. This is my ex-boyfriend. Hey, man, I'm not going to make it. I got to feed my dogs and take them out maybe another time. I guess the guy wasn't cute to him because the minute he sent the selfie, he kind of stopped texting. They were talking in code, like can't meet up, blah, blah. I didn't know what was going on. Then when he said the cake, I'm like, well, cake is usually referred in two ways. Either you're eating cake or like cake. I went through all of his photos, all of his videos, all of his text messages, all of his DMs, all of his apps. deleted apps. I went through his block list on Instagram, his block list on Snapchat. His block list was all gay men. I went through his email, his video. He had some very suspect videos. He had a couple of pics in there that weren't his. It was too much. So all I knew what to do at that point, though, was to screenshot literally everything. So I called one of my gay friends and I was like, I'm gonna send you this pic. Don't be weirded out, but can you tell me what app this is? He's like, yeah. I sent it to him. He's like, oh, that's great. So then I'm sitting there and I get in bed and I'm just staring at him the whole time in such disgust, like, you piece of. Later on that day, he finds himself trying to break up with me. He literally starts texting me and he's like, hey, so, last night, that fight that we had, I just realized, like, you're not the girl for me. And we got to talk. No, like, we have to talk right now. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, look, I was going to ease into this because I'm still processing it myself, but I found some weird in your phone and I need you to answer what it is. And I'm sending him everything that I saw. And then he calls me immediately and starts crying. I've just had thoughts like it wasn't anything like that. Like I was just thinking about it, but I've never done anything like that. I love you. Not trying to give him an excuse. I mean, no, for sure. But it's probably really hard for him to come out. He's probably dealt with some crazy trauma. Do you feel like you might be gay? Like, were you trying? No, I'm not gay. I've never done anything with a man. Just kept denying. I was like, I have to go to work. I can't do this right now. Like, we're just gonna talk another time. We ended up going to this event that following weekend. He knew I was going and he showed up. He's all in my face, holding my hand, kissing me on the cheek, trying to make it seem like we're still together in front of all of my friends and his friends. Long story short, fast forward, we just ended up like breaking up. I was like, you just got to come out. I'm not doing this. You embarrass me. Like, I'm done.
When I have to tell a patient something's wrong in her pregnancy, it's heartbreaking. Those decisions are between the patient, her.
When you get married to a woman, even though you know that you're gay, you're like destined to do some pretty stupid and harmful things, not only to her, but to you and to all the people involved. Let me tell you about one of those things. I got married, and I had been talking to a guy for about 6 months before I got married. Completely didn't think that it was like going to amount to anything. Wasn't trying for it to, but accidentally fell in love with him because I had never dated a man before. Because why would I? I was raised super conservative and like would have never allowed myself to do that. But it was in my last semester of college and I felt like times were getting pretty bleak and I was about to get married. So why not talk to this random stranger who I met on chat roulette, right? What could go wrong? Anyway, fast forward 6 months, I get married to my wife. She, we're happy. I'm not happy, but, we're pretending to be happy. She's happy, I think. And 3 weeks go by. 3 weeks. And I'm taking a biochemistry course while I'm working on applying to medical school. And while I'm in that class, I get 11 phone calls from her. 11 missed calls. So I think to myself, that's not good. And I immediately knew it was wrong. She didn't say anything. She didn't leave any voicemails. She didn't text me. Nothing. She's 11 missed phone calls. And she had my location, so she knew where I was. And I knew what she wanted because I was like, she somehow found out I was still talking to this guy that I met on chat roulette, which I was. I was absolutely still talking to him. Oh, and by the way, I definitely wasn't telling him that I got married. Lots of mistakes, lots of dishonesty. And I'm prepared, so give me all the judgment. I know everybody's going to fill the comments and tell me how horrible that was, but that's why I'm talking about this, because I don't think it's right, and I don't think it was good, and I'm trying to help people who might think that they can do the same thing, realize that they can't. So she calls me 11 times. I leave class that day, and I'm going to call her back. I walk outside the building, and she is right there. Without shoes on, looking like she just saw a ghost or just watched her parents be murdered in front of her. She is horrified, and rightly so. So I knew exactly what the problem was. She obviously found out somehow, and she sat me down, and we wound up having a 3-hour conversation about how she saw my open computer where I was Skyping this guy, and she saw our chat history and everything 3 weeks into our marriage. That's how she found out I was gay, which is very embarrassing, but that's how she found out. horrible. So let's talk about it.
Let me tell you how I found out my boyfriend was gay. So back in my early days, I would literally only date a guy if he was bisexual, because I used to feel like if he's comfortable enough to tell you that he's bisexual, he's going to be honest with you about everything, and the relationship will be more fun and yada yada. Now, this boyfriend, I had dated him a couple of times. And so one of the times that we were dating, I had told him, like, yeah, like recently I've only been dating like bi guys. And I told him like the reason behind it. And he didn't really have much to say about it. He was just like, oh, that's so foul. You foul for that, whatever, whatever. But anyways, we had ended up breaking up. So years or months was passing, and we ended up dating again. So when we ended up dating the last time, he had asked me about it. He was like, so do you still only date guys that are bi, whatever? And so then I knew without a shadow of a doubt, because number one, you wouldn't be asking me this for no reason. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you remembered this and you brought it up like dead serious, not like jokingly or nothing, I knew right then and there. So my only mission was to get him to out himself to me, because I'm one of the bros for real. I want all my niggas to be comfortable with me, period. So I just kept asking him questions like, oh, would you ever try anything like that? Or, oh, have you ever considered trying anything like that? Like, once he brought up the conversation, I knew that was my opening to ask as many questions as I wanted, including, have you ever tried anything like that? And when I asked him that question, he got real quiet. So you know when a man get quiet, he's just thinking like, should I tell her? Should I not? Should I tell her? Should I not? Anyways, he ended up telling me that night. We ended up sharing our like sneaky Twitters with each other, and baby, the stuff that and he shared some of his videos with me. Baby, yes, I'm that girlfriend. I want to see it all. Let me see this.
So he was actually incredibly homophobic. So if we were out and about, he would mutter under his breath whenever he saw anybody that appeared to be gay. He did everything he could to make himself as macho and outwardly masculine as he could. So he was a bodybuilder. He wouldn't wear anything that was a feminine color like pink or purple. He would belittle our children when we later went on to have children. And in fact, I found this out about him when my child was about 4 months old. But as they grew up, he would belittle the males by saying, even when they were crying at like 3 or 4 years old, he'd be like, stop crying like a little girl and stuff like that. So actually, he rejected his homosexuality or bisexuality or whatever you want to call it. He couldn't accept it at all. He kept it a massive secret, obviously, from everybody, including me. And then after I did find out about it, he kind of implied that by me finding out what he'd been doing, that had healed him and he no longer had those desires, which obviously isn't possible. In this process of finding out what he had done, which I happened across by accident on the computer when autofill filled in an old email address that he had stopped using before we had got married and before we got this certain computer. So I knew something wasn't right, that he would still been using this old email address. And I basically bluffed him into telling me the truth. I said that I'd found loads of stuff on the computer. I rang him at work and I was like, you better tell me everything now, otherwise it's over. So the issue was, he did tell me a lot of the truth to begin with, but it came out in dribs and drabs. So it meant that at the point where I was like, oh, maybe I can trust him again, maybe I can make this work. I was 18, I had a 4-month-old baby. He'd already isolated me from all my friends and family, so I didn't have any sense of what is normal and what is true. I also had no identity myself because of all my own issues from childhood and teenage years. He had become my world, and therefore it was very scary to me at the thought of giving that up. So in finding this all out, it's where my eyes were open to how massive this issue is. Men that are married with children, grandfathers having these secret homosexual lives. It is everywhere. And some of my gay clients openly talk about how much they end up finding out that the people that they get with on these dating apps are actually married with kids and so-called straight.
America, we've got a big job to fill. Kamala Harris gets results.
Mrs. Grove, is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Absolutely fine.
Unhappy? Darling, one of the ways you said you were looking for me.
I need to speak to you privately.
Talk in here.
Just be a moment.
What's going on? Where did you get that?
Doesn't matter. Who is he?
Darling, if I could just...
Tell me his name.
Winston.
Is he the only one, or have there been others? Here's what's going to happen. You will go upstairs to begin packing. I will tell our guests that you have some sort of headache. You won't come down until everyone's gone.
I'm so out.
Sorry. You cannot apologize for this.
Is everybody gone?
The mother was the last to leave. She said she'll see you at home.
I finished cleaning the kitchen. Everything's put away.
Thank you. Be sure to look up before you leave.
Is Mr. Grove okay?
Don't you worry about him. Why aren't you finished packing? Why are you sweating? Carl? What did you do?
Okay, y'all, this happened in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Wife found out her husband was into men and he took her life. August 17, 2023, police was called to the area of Adams Street and Union Avenue in Grand Rapids, Michigan about reports of gunshots, and when they arrived, they found a woman deceased next to a house with full of several gunshot wounds to her head and body. The victim was identified as Alicia Lofton, and her husband, Marcus Lofton, was quickly named as a suspect. He was located walking not too far from the area of the murder. He was taken into question, and then when he gave his version of what happened, his version, he said on the day of the murder, he claims he went home around 8 a.m. and when him and his wife started to argue, while exchanging heated words, Marcus said he went to Alicia's drawer and pulled out her Glock and attempted to hit her with it. But she ran into the bedroom, locking the door right behind her. Then forced the door open. He forced the door open. When he saw Alicia trying to escape out the window, he shot her multiple times, killing her. He is being held with no bond and charged with open murder and felony firearm. Now, people say the real reason was Alicia discovered and had proof that her husband was sleeping with a man, so he took it upon himself to take her life. Now, order of protection was put in place in May after he was arrested for domestic violence against Alicia. The day before the murder, on August 16th, Alicia served her soon-to-be ex-husband with divorce papers and informed him that she was selling the house to get away to move on with her life. Hey, for more on this story, click the link below. This is Snaptown over and out.
My husband is gay, but we're married with 2 kids and have great sex. What?
Just to... As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, these are different stories on YouTube. Fair use with this YouTube video of different types of relationships, ladies, that they go through and finding out their boyfriends or husbands are gay. It's just a tragic story that these cats can't be honest with themselves out there. And it's sad. Please support us through Cash App. That's Cash App, GREC, $mantrap. Any donation be greatly appreciated. Thumbs up, like and share this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm glad you guys taking a look at this video. You got to be careful out here, ladies and gentlemen, of the type of kind of relationships that you're getting into, especially if you see red flags. Red flags, if you start seeing a lot of red flags, ladies and gentlemen, please get out. Get out right away. These are signs that the Lord is probably telling you for sure, and earlier signs. Again, you can't change these cats. These are who they are, and that's what they're about. And unfortunately, these things happen in life. So if you see signs like that and it's something that you don't get on with, get out of that situation. Don't stay in a situation that you know for sure this is what it is, what it is. So God bless you. Talk to you next week. If the Lord say the same, I'll see you next week with a wonderful, wonderful topic. Thank you for viewing the Greg's Review Show. Please like and share this video again. And please, if you can, help support us through Cash App. That's GRC $mantrap. Any donation, whether it's 50 cents, a dollar would be greatly appreciated. God bless you, and I'll talk to you again. Bye bye.